Rob's Roundtable! I'm like a sports announcer introing the team.
I like it.
What's going on, dude? Nico, how you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic. Fighting a little rib injury here.
He's all fucked
I'm almost
up.
on the pup, but I made it happen.
All right. Wide receiver hot takes.
Feeling hot, oh Lord.
Coming at you real hot, real spicy. One thing for you, per usual. Went to a bingo night the other night.
Bingo night, where at?
This whiskey bar in DeKalb.
Okay.
Kessinger. I forget the name. I don't want to actually name the name. It wasn't even in DeKalb, by the way. I don't even know where it was. But I noticed one thing. I'm not a big whiskey guy anymore. And I was pretty upset because I wanted to drink beer. Didn't have any beer.
No beer, huh?
No, only whiskey, bro.
And serves only one old-timey disgusting drink that nobody likes. God damn, I hate gin. D, you bitch.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it is what expensive
Was it a
drinks.
distillery?
Yes. But I want a beer.
Well, they don't make it.
I should have brought my own beer.
Exactly.
Like, where'd you get that, sir? The front counter?
Yep.
But I noticed I've never been to a bingo night before, right? Like, I love Keno in Vegas, never been to bingo. Dude, there were so many lesbians. Like, short hair, but both of them had short hair. Usually, it's not like the normal combo of, like, the...
One each.
Not pretty one, but the one that's feminine and the one that's a dude.
Yeah.
They were both dudes. Tattoos, short hair, huge.
Hey, anyone could be anything nowadays,
Dude, but there were so many of them.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't care if you putt from the rough.
What are you putting from the rough? I don't know.
Like, literally 7 couples. And there was 100 people there, but dude, they just kept on pouring in. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay.
The only time I played bingo was full of Native Americans.
Really?
Yeah, it was in Wisconsin at a casino, and then they had bingo off to the side. I wasn't of age to go into the casino yet. Parents were in there, and so we needed to kill some time. So we sat down by this big sheet, right? We're going to play some bingo. I've never done it before, like outside of like little family gatherings.
Yeah.
You got the little dauber, right?
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
mark them all. And there's a guy sitting across from us. He's got like long black braids, like I said, like Native American dude. He's got like 29 sheets all laid out, like half the table, like double fisting, right? Just everywhere with his daubers, right? Just going. And he's getting mad at me because I'm missing ones on my board with just 5 little games. And he's like looking over, he's like, just you gotta get that. Like, and he's reaching over, like he wants to dive him forward.
How many
like,
was he an octopus?
He was super serious about this.
Just
And I'm
fucking
like,
9 arms.
so if you don't help me, I won't beat you.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't get it.
So lesbians and Native Americans love bingo. Is that what we learned today?
Apparently.
One last thing for you. I listen to a lot of podcasts, obviously fantasy podcasts, other podcasts too. I love music, but it doesn't engage my brain the same amount as just listening and learning, right? And these fantasy analysts, right? It's not even like we do. We actually get together. If you can't see, this is not a Zoom call.
Yeah.
He's not a hologram.
Where they're each in front of their own computer,
yes.
and then they put them all
They
up.
work from home.
Yeah.
It's an hour a day, and they always like brag like I got a 3-day weekend, or be like, oh, it's been a long work week. I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, I do this shit for free. It costs me money. I put so much time. I don't have a producer. I don't have an editor. I do it all.
And they just sit home and
He's got a family. He shows up here because it's important to us, right? We care about this shit. And they're like being like, I got a day off. Like, dude, fuck you. You have the best job on the earth.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you just sit around and do nothing.
Yep.
You do. You have the easiest job on earth.
That's true. I do have a good job.
Yeah, you do nothing.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Yep.
Talk football.
Yeah.
And you're like, they think it's a job because it's a job to them. But come on, man. Your audience does not want to hear that I'm working too much.
Yeah.
Bro, we do this shit for fun. Yeah, we win money playing fantasy,
Yeah.
but it's scraps compared to how much we put into it.
And those guys are getting paid too. It's scraps
Right.
compared
I'm
to
saying
that.
like fantasy, if I win $3,000 a year, I do 25 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm putting in, dude, it's literally like $1 an hour. So like it's not like for the money. Like, I like the money at the end of it.
It's the love of the game.
I love the game.
Yeah.
So, all right, wide receiver hot takes, getting real spicy up in here. Nico, toss me your first hot take, baby.
Got the spicy shirt on, wearing the hot sauce shirt.
Again, yeah. Did you watch
for
it?
the hot takes. And of course.
Good.
Of course.
So your wife watched it or did you watch it?
She watched it.
Good.
Yeah.
Make sure you give her
Yes.
props for that.
Thanks, babe. Love ya. First hot take is Chris Olave. He's 14th receiver overall, or going 28th overall, 14th ranked receiver right now. I think he easily cracks the top 10. I think Olave is going to get fed the same way Adams did from Carr.
Yeah.
I don't trust Thomas anymore. I know the ability's there, and I know if he stays healthy, he can make his. I know I had a hot take on Johnson. Apparently, I like the Saints way more than I realized. Not a real tough division, and what you brought up in an earlier pod makes me feel way better about this take now.
Yeah, the
because
weather.
Olave in stadiums is going to be even better.
So you're saying top 10?
Yeah.
It's not that hot, but
I mean, it
is a little hot. Okay, you ready for my first one?
Sure.
Justin Jefferson will finish as a top 8 receiver.
Yes!
Is that hot?
I got my hot take.
I was following up what
Right?
you did. No, it's kind of hot. I mean, I like it. It's going to beat his ADP by a solid amount. I feel like a lot of people you might get him at 16, though.
Yeah.
Because he's Michael Thomas worried, but you're worried about Michael Thomas.
A little bit, and that's part of it, is because I loved Michael Thomas last year. I had a ton of shares of him.
Yeah, same.
I still love his ability, but what the offense is going to be, what Carr is going to be, like, I got question marks. And I just think that Olave, I feel really good coming out of the draft with Olave as my wide receiver one. If I get him at 14th, 15th receiver off the board, I'm taking him in the end of the second, top of the third round.
Yeah, all right, hopefully you get hotter ones than that, because you know how hot I go. You ready for some hot? Ready for some heat? Garrett Wilson will be wide receiver 1 in fantasy.
Oh, hot, 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 hot.
That's hot. Now that's fucking hot.
It is hot.
Going wide receiver 8.
Hot, bro.
Very hot. It's pretty hot in here and all the AC on, but that makes it even hotter. And I'm going to tell you why. Garrett Wilson is amazing. On this very show, not here at Kappa's, during the draft process 2 years ago, whenever he came out, I called him Antonio Brown. And I knew I thought he was more of a project.
Yeah.
He was not a project. He killed it last year. He is literally the hardest guy to tackle after the catch, right? He makes that one move every time, makes a guy miss. Every time.
One of his first downfield shots has Garrett Wilson. Makes field goal.
Aaron Rodgers' ball placement, he was doing that with fucking Zach Wilson and Joe Flacco and whoever at Mike White.
Yeah, and you saw a lot of Devontae Adams catch the ball in an advantageous position where he was then able to rotate and get upfield.
Yeah, because he didn't have to worry about any of this.
Mm-hmm.
And Garrett Wilson did it last year as a rookie with worrying about this, and that. This is different.
Yeah.
And he already killed it last year. Awesome. Love the guy.
Is it Sauce Gardner making him even better? Like iron
That's
sharpens
also
iron
there.
too?
There you go. I did a little exercise here. A lot of research I did. One of the biggest things I looked up for this pod. I went back Aaron Rodgers' 14 starting years. I took away his first year. I took away his last year because he had no good receivers. Didn't want to be there. 14 years of Aaron Rodgers stats.
It's not a small sample size.
His number one receiver. This is the average numbers that he put up in this is 14 years. His number one receiver, 90 catches, 1,222 yards, and 11.3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's what the number one is average there. And a couple of those years, it was James Jones, right?
Yep.
It was, but the list is Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, James Jones, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams. Jordy Nelson had a couple 15 touchdown seasons.
Nelson.
Now I know we love Devontae Adams, but he was not the prospect Garrett Wilson is.
No.
He became something, and he also proved it last year without Aaron Rodgers. Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, James Jones, and Jordy Nelson, though, not household names coming out. Not even close to the prospect that fucking Garrett Wilson is. I know Rodgers isn't quite the quarterback he was. He's still great. I saw Peyton Manning have 55 touchdowns after that neck surgery.
That was crazy.
Right?
Yep.
So, why can't Aaron Rodgers do this? If he even is 80% of what he was in his prime with this guy, locking in on this guy, I know I'm doing a big Garrett Wilson rant because I say he's going to be number one. That's why. Those are huge numbers, man.
Those are huge numbers.
And that's what he's going to have. He's actually going to exceed all of those numbers. I guarantee he's getting 150 targets. I said the same thing about CeeDee Lamb last year, and Kappa laughed at me. And CeeDee Lamb had third most targets in the league.
Yep.
So same situation, and he's a better player. Almost.
I like it. It's a good call.
What do you got?
Next one, I've talked a little bit about this guy. I've teased him a little bit. I can be so wrong on this and look so bad because you don't know what you're going to get in Calvin Ridley. But right now, if he's overall wide receiver 19, and I got him finishing top 5. I think he's top 5.
Now
wide
here
receiver
you go.
talent. I'm passionate about Ridley, man. The skill set is there. The dude is legit. He had, almost 1,508 or 9 touchdowns. I think the 2020 year, 21, he fell off a little bit. Turns out he was, I don't know if you heard why he left the league, why he left the team at that time.
I do.
And I didn't know at the time, and I found out later he was misdiagnosed with a broken foot.
Oh, I thought it was a gambling thing originally. He stepped down.
No, the gambling was he got suspended by the league for
When
that.
he was
Well,
out.
he was
When he
already
was
out.
okay,
But
yeah,
he
yeah.
chose to walk away from the team to work on himself, his own mental
Yes,
health.
yes.
And he was fighting opioid addiction because he was taking pain meds every single game the year before. He couldn't even plant his foot, dude, without pain meds.
Wow.
And they're like, it's not broke, you're good.
So he's got a lot
So
to prove.
they did him dirty. And
The suspension was dirty. The team did him dirty. Come
fighting
on.
depression, fighting
Yeah.
opioid addiction. I'm going to go work on me, and the team
Yeah.
paints him to be some kind of asshole.
Yeah,
over it.
he bet on. Let's just put this out there. He did not bet on his own team. It was a bye week.
Yeah.
And he was at the stadium. Either way, you can't bet on any games. And he bet $5,000 on DraftKings. Bro, it sounds like a lot of money. Calvin Ridley pisses on money, motherfucker. That's like me and you doing a $5 bet on FanDuel.
Yeah.
Dude,
no big deal.
not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Everyone else is doing it. He's a kid, right?
They should totally be able
I
to
didn't
bet
know the
on it.
opioid thing. He's
Yeah.
got a lot to prove, man. And I like that
That's where
story.
I'm at. And then the talent is there. Like, I haven't not seen this guy play well on film. The quarterback play wasn't there.
He's not the flashiest dude, but
No,
he's good.
and he's not a
good.
dominant alpha, but
He's
I think
good.
Kirk stays in the exact lane he was in last year, which is an awesome compliment. And all of Zay Jones and Ingram's targets get funneled into Ridley
Yeah.
this year.
He's good. He doesn't even need. The thing is, Calvin Ridley has never been a guy, mostly because Julio Jones is there, that needs 150. You give him 130 this year with a step up from Trevor Lawrence, you're looking at 88 catches. You're looking at 1,200 yards because he's a monster and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That is that's wide receiver 7.
He
And
did
can
better
do
than
more.
that with Matt Ryan in Atlanta when Matt Ryan wasn't on the top of his game.
He was cooked. All right, I like that a lot. Next one here for me, DJ Moore, our boy. Do you have him?
I don't.
Okay.
I tried to go with different guys. I tried to go
Well,
with
we
ones
haven't talked
I
about
didn't
DJ
think
Moore a
would
lot
go
this year.
I know.
So, and I talked about him a lot on this pod for years.
No, I got a 49er hot take. You got a Bears hot take.
DJ
Don't
Moore
make
is going
sense.
26, wide receiver 26. I have top 10. And I will say this, not toot my own horn too much, although I like doing that a lot.
Yep.
I was on Stephon Diggs so hard when he went to the Bills. And I gave you this list of all the reasons why. He's won at every level in his career. He hasn't got the targets he deserved. Blah, blah, blah. I had Stephon Diggs. He was going like 5th or 6th round that year on the Bills. I had him in my ranks as wide receiver 8. When the consensus was wide receiver 21.
Yeah.
This is wide receiver 26. I have him as top 10 receiver.
Uber talented.
He's going to do it because I trust Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think he's going to have 4,500 yards
But
passing.
how many touchdowns is Moore averaged a year?
He is 4,
Exactly.
2, 4, and
So-
last year was finally 7.
Yeah, so
Not much.
I think Fields can keep par with
Yeah.
that, and Moore's been solid.
Give me
With-
6 touchdowns, give me 1,100, 1,200 yards, because he's not going to have 90 catches. We know that in this offense.
They're not gonna throw that much.
75 catches, 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns, maybe 7. That's enough to be top 10.
Yeah.
And I love DJ Moore, the player. We both
Yep.
do. He's got a lot to prove. Fields has a lot to prove. They're going to be boys, besties. I love that.
I'll take some
Last year, I showed you my hot takes on the other positions. I did really well on all of them.
Yep, had a good year.
I'm going to tell you when I'm wrong, too. And I was wrong last year a lot. So, I had one I hit. I'm going to start with the one I hit. Christian Kirk, I had 100 catches written down. That was my hot take last year, 100 catches. He had 84. But his over-under in Vegas was 66.
Yeah, even 90, I think, is a hot take for Kirk last year.
So I go hot, and I'm going to say that's a hit.
Yep, I'll give you that one.
I'm doing that. I don't hit the hot take, and I say it's a hit. That's the beauty of going really hot.
Yep.
Okay, the other ones are not good. I'm going to brush over them real quick.
The medium takes.
Nico Collins, top 36 wideout. He finished at wide receiver 77. That was a miss. That was also Davis Mills being terrible and the Texans sucking nutsack.
Yeah.
That's bad. DK Metcalf, I had a top 5 receiver. He finished at 17. Not a hit. Very bad.
They ran the
very
ball
bad.
a lot. Geno took a little while to come into his own.
Very bad. Well, Lockett finished ahead of him, which is a problem.
Yeah.
And then this other one here is Michael Thomas. Someone named Michael Thomas finishing top 3. I did. You know what? Points per game.
Yeah.
He actually was killing it.
Yeah.
Let's just
but
brush
he
over
didn't
those.
play.
You know what? I'll tell you when I'm wrong, too. So I was wrong.
Yep.
And you're not going to hit them all. These were really bad misses, though. So hopefully no one watched that episode. Right? Let's
But
hope not.
even if you bet all your hot takes together last year, individual bets in Vegas, you're a winner.
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
Like, you're coming.
Who's your next guy?
Next guy is Jordan Addison, the rookie receiver, Minnesota Vikings, looking to fill that Thielen role. And a quick little Thielen stat for you. He had 107 targets last year. And that was a 17% target share. He's gone, right? Who else is Hawkinson's there, right? And he was there last year, and we saw what he's going to do. I don't have a lot of faith in Hawkinson. Delvin's gone. They're not going to be able to run the ball as effectively as much as we love Ty Chandler. Yes, I think Addison's 2. He's right now the 40th overall wide receiver. I got him finishing as a wide receiver 2 this year.
Top 24.
Top 24.
Wow. Yep. You're going to be targeting him in redraft, you're saying.
I am.
Yeah.
And, like, I said on one of the earlier rookie pods, and I'm like, I don't like rookies. I stay away from them. And now I'm falling in love with all these rookie receivers this year.
So I was way lower on Addison in our rookie show. I didn't have him in my top 5. Although I like the player, he's not a physical player. He reminds me of a Deontay Johnson, who has actually had a lot of success.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's as good as Jordan Addison, or if Jordan Addison's as good as him. I don't know. I like the number 2, and I like the single coverage for this kind of player. I like the landing spot, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
And he's going to get single coverage. That guy burns man, and he's savvy enough to beat zone. Can he beat the press?
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's my worry with Addison, and we're going to see. But I like if you get 120 targets for him, he's going to have 75 catches.
Yeah.
Which is top
and
25.
I'll take that, especially with where you're drafting him.
Gabe Davis. And he's going wide receiver 42 right now. I have top 24. Wide receiver 2 for Gabe Davis, as long as they don't get Hopkins. Because he plays more snaps than Diggs. He has had 7 touchdowns in every single season he's played, and he's never had more than 93 targets. Last year was absolutely insane. He caught 51% of his targets. 93 targets and 48 catches, dude.
That's crazy. So he's going to regress to the mean, right?
And that was mostly, honestly, like he didn't play well last year. But Josh Allen, post LCL injury, which was like week 5, dude, he was so inaccurate down the field. And, like, he was open.
Yeah, and some of it was Allen, some of it was Davis.
Yeah, some drops. And just he's not that fast. But I'm just telling you, I've seen this man in the AFC Championship game. I said the same thing last year. Have 210 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Every week.
How many players... It's the same thing with Chase Claypool, right? We saw him have a 4-touchdown game. The difference was that was not the AFC Championship to essentially win the game 2 times, even though they lost the game. Crazy game.
And against elite talent.
Yes. I don't know, man. I just feel like he's going to play... I know he's going to play 90% of the snaps. I've seen him have a 98-yard touchdown. The guy is the guy that goes deep. He's always in the field. He's playing the Y. I like that in this offense, and I like it at 42. Last year, he was going, 23?
Too high last year.
It was too high.
Yeah,
it was all like... I had him a lot. Because it was just like we're projecting. Now it's the opposite of projecting.
Yeah.
Let's go back. This is where he should have been going last year.
Sleeper.
And last year he still would have beat wide receiver 42 because he had 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, the touchdowns.
And 900 yards.
Okay.
So I feel like he'll do better than last year, and that will be a wide receiver too.
The upside's there.
Yeah.
My next hot take, I got to throw a Niner take in all the time, right?
Yes, you do.
I'm a huge
Yes,
homer.
you do.
So this one is that the wide receiver 31 overall is Brandon Ayuk, and Debo is going 16 overall. And I was going to say something lame like just more catches or more receiving yards or whatever, but we got to make it hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I have to make it hot. You're
I don't. I have this one already written down, right? I'm not going on the fly here. Ayuk will have more fantasy football points than Debo.
Wow.
That's my hot take. And part of that relates back to McCaffrey hot take is he's going to be the one running the shit out of the ball, not Debo. And if Debo's not running, I think Ayuk's a better receiving threat.
Yeah, 70 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns.
At least.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
He had, 9 touchdowns last year? Which is crazy to believe.
And he finally came into his own last year. He finally won the coaches over and established his role. And
Brock Purdy looked for him more than Debo.
Yeah, and that's part of it, too, is who's throwing the ball.
Well, hopefully it's not Trey Lance.
Hopefully it's just Brock Purdy.
He doesn't throw the ball. What are you going to do with Trey Lance?
I just let him hang out, man. I don't know. I saw.
Let's draft a guy 3rd overall. Let's trade up. Let's pay him and not play him.
Yep. Just make fun of his hairline at practice.
So that's essentially the same thing as like a rich guy, buying a concubine from any country, right? Bringing her in. She's super hot. She doesn't speak English. You can do whatever the hell you want with her. And just like locking her in a cellar.
Just leave her in
and
the
like
house you don't live
marrying like a fat high school sweetheart.
Yep.
And like, I'm going to stay with I bought you the concubine, but like, you're just my property, right?
That's it.
I own her. She's property.
She's not my wife. Not my wife. I buy her. She belonged to me as a property.
Teams should be training for Trey Lance, just so you know. If any GMs are watching this, which I don't think they are, trade if you can get a second round pick right now, and you're contending like a team like the Vikings, right? Going to go over 500. Get that dude on your team. There's a reason he was traded. I disagree with what they did. There's a reason they did it.
Yeah.
The upside, the allure, NFL body, awesome arm, super fast.
If he stays healthy, can you develop him? And a lot of these coaches are going to think they can still save that good young athlete.
Yeah. Next one for me, Sky Moore, top 30 receiver. He is wide receiver 54. Oof. Again, I'm not good at wide receiver hot takes, so I mean that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Juju's gone; those targets are vacated. Kelsey eventually has to slow down, and that's not even a part of this. Someone's got to step up, right? Everyone loves Kadarius Toney, and I like the player Kadarius Toney. I like the athlete Kadarius Toney.
When he plays?
I don't like the receiver Kadarius Toney.
Oh, okay.
He's not a good receiver. He does like two things.
Yeah.
Literally, screen passes and like a dig. He can't run any routes.
And I don't think Mahomes is going to settle for that shit.
Sky Moore's a versatile player, and they drafted him in the second round for a reason.
He was getting drafted higher than that last year. People were high on Moore, thinking he's going to be the one to step into this Mahomes offense.
And now he's got a better situation.
It's a second-year player.
1 year experience.
Yeah.
Less competition. Come on, man. Like, at this point, 54, this is the kind of guy I want to draft.
Why not the rookie they drafted this year? I'm having a brain fart on his name.
Rasheed Rice.
Yes, why not
Rice?
Rice?
He's a rookie, and they drafted Sky Moore, they didn't use him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, Sky Moore's a better player than Rice. He's a way more versatile player, man. He's a tough dude.
I got trust issues with all those receivers.
Same.
But with where you're getting them, there's a huge upside.
And again, this is a redraft thing. Like, underdog, I'm not drafting Sky Moore because I don't know.
Yeah.
I want Hardman fucking 90 picks later because I know he's going to have a role.
Yep.
But in redraft, I don't want Hardman because I'll never know when to start him. Sky Moore could have the #1 receiving role in Kansas City.
Yeah.
The Tyreek Hill role. Now, he won't do what Tyreek Hill did.
The Juju role.
Well, yeah. The hybrid between the two, right?
Yes.
Play like Tyreek had the Juju role.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I don't know. I love it. I love tying a cheap piece to that offense, man. Like,
get affordable pieces of good offense.
Top 30, man. I feel like it's real reasonable, and if not, you drop him because you draft him as your wide receiver 6.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. What do you got?
Last one I got, wide receiver 49 overall. This is part of I think Watson knocked the rust off last year, and he's going to come back and help Elijah Moore to a top 25 finish in PPR.
What wide receiver is he?
49.
Ooh, that's nice.
And I'm going to use I just talked shit about using caveats. Like, if it's your guy, it's your guy. But scoring does matter. And in PPR, I think he gets a ton. I just don't know if the touchdowns are going to be there.
We saw Elijah Moore dominate his rookie year.
Yeah.
He was the best slot receiver coming out. Last year, we know what the Jets do with all these guys. Mims, they draft all these dudes early. Corey Davis they bring in. They don't use them.
No.
And they stopped using Moore last year. It was a product of everything. The quarterback play,
The
but
off the
I don't
field
know what the hell
in the doghouse,
Why?
like, because of practice stuff or whatever.
Fuck it.
Like,
Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I like the player too.
But
I like him a lot.
I like him opposite of Amari Cooper in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And you still got Peoples-Jones as a threat there with what we think is probably one of the better running backs in all of the NFL in real life and in fantasy this year with Chubb. So if Watson can take that step and turn into what we've seen in the past, I think it's a steal.
I think there's a 50% chance he's the most talented wide receiver there. And we love Amari Cooper, man. He's always been great. But, Amari Cooper's had a lot of tread on those tires.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a running back, but,
still.
Come on, man. He's been injury-prone before. Elijah Moore can do a lot of things, man. He can line up everywhere. He is a mismatch.
Yeah.
And if Deshaun Watson takes that leap, they can both feast.
How explosive he is in and out of his cuts, too, is just nasty.
Yeah, and, we've seen players like Braxton Berrios.
Yeah.
Again, Braxton Berrios playing ahead of
Yeah.
Moore last year. And if he's way better than Braxton Berrios. Give him that role with some juice. Play a little outside, a little inside. Give him some jet sweeps.
Yep.
That's what you're looking at right there. Love it.
Jets.
Yeah. Do you have one more or no?
No, that's it.
Okay. Last one here. I'm going to actually add this as a combined take, so you probably agree with me. Our boy, John Mechie. Talking about him all the time.
Yep.
Top 36 wide out. He's going wide receiver 71. We're cutting that in half.
Why wouldn't he, though? Why wouldn't he be that high? He's going to be the receiver 1 on a team
Cut it
that's
in
going to
half.
be throwing a whole
Yep.
bunch.
Cut it in half. Got our guy, C.J. Stroud. I don't like C.J. Stroud, but he's a pro-ready guy. He's a pocket guy. He's a slot receiver friend.
Yeah.
Give me John Mechie, baby. Go back to any pod that we're talking about anything. We talk about John
He comes
Mechie.
up, dude. He comes up.
Yeah.
And right now, I think Stroud is the most wide receiver friendly quarterback out of all the rookies.
Yeah.
And that's part of Mechie in his second year. Even though we didn't see him last year, people kind of forgot about him.
Right. Bryce Young's more of a running back friendly or a defensive end friendly guy. They're just like licking their chops. Like, can I hit this guy with a pinky and knock him down?
I'm gonna go get me some.
Yeah, John Mechie, man. We talked about him too much. The guy's a stud.
Such a feel good story too. But
in case y'all missed it though, John Mechie came back from cancer. Was an Alabama stud, right? Like. Not quite the likes of Devontae Smith, but had 11 touchdowns.
We've seen an Alabama receiver be good a time or two recently.
Quite a bit. And he dominated at that level.
Yeah.
And it always translates. And this one, I think everyone forgot about him.
Yep.
And that's why he's going to be wide receiver, a top 36 receiver. I think higher than that possibly. I don't see the crazy upside of wide receiver 1, but I see 120 targets for him.
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible.
He's a playable guy as a wide receiver 4 in best ball. In best ball, I absolutely love it. But like anything, right?
And that's how you know that we love the people. Because we could keep this to ourselves and help ourselves win leagues. We're not doing that. We're giving it to you
I play
guys.
a lot of leagues with you motherfuckers.
Yeah, and we need you to just like, subscribe, share because you love us back.
Don't worry.
That's all we want for this advice.
I'll still win, at least my league. I'm going over 4 in a row, baby.
Yep.
All right, man. Rob's Roundtable.
And it's been a complete joy.
You assholes, you ruined my portable phone!
Teamwork. Yes!
You gotta break the door! Are you gonna pay for it?